Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is Thursday Night Football on EA Sports. We are just moments away from kickoff, and we've got a good one on tap between the Cincinnati Bengals and the Seattle Seahawks. I'll see you again at halftime as we preview some of the action coming up on Sunday. But for now, it's Thursday Night Football. And on the call, as always, it's Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Thank you, Coach. We are in the Pacific Northwest as we get set for football at CenturyLink Field here in Seattle. A minute or so ago, it was the veteran leader of this Seattle secondary, Cam Chancellor, firing up the Seahawk crowd that's in its usual full roar as he and his mates get set to go head-to-head with Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals. With Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you look at this Seahawks team as they get ready here. They were winners last time out, so they'll be looking, Charles, to make it 2 in a row.
And what I enjoyed when I watched their game tape and their victory last week is they put it together in every phase. Good offense, good defense, and some key plays on special teams. Let's see if they can get that second win in a row.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, it's late in the year. We all know it. We've seen the and they'll run it here. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
It'll be a pickup of 5, and that leaves them with 5 more. 3rd and 5 now.
It's really simple to say that they know their identity, that they are a passing team. But one of the reasons that they're so successful, they know how to mix in the run and make sure that they keep the defense off balance and not able to just simply say, let's go get the quarterback and disrupt things.
3rd down from the gun, Dalton. And this is going to be incomplete.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps.
Now the Cincinnati offense ready to see what they can do here. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means they're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on 2nd and a couple. Now they'll run it on the toss. Not much room here as he only gets it to about the 30. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 3rd down.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. It's an 8-yard pickup and leads to a new set of downs. Now, look, that wasn't a huge gain, but those are the types of carries I think they were missing in their loss last week. They couldn't get him going on the ground.
Did you get the same feeling I did during our meetings, that they kind of regretted that he didn't touch the ball?
Absolutely.
You know, hey, he should have touched it more last week. They weren't going to make that same mistake, and they've taken care of that early.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. Charles, Thursday night game, I think a lot of teams probably say shrink the playbook somewhat. Is that correct?
I think you're right about that because you just don't have the amount of time that you have in a normal week to put in a full playbook. So, as you said, you shrink the playbook, pick out the plays that work best for you. You know what else you're looking for?
What's that?
Who are the freshest guys coming off the last game to play on a Thursday night? Guys have a little extra pep in their step. You go to them early and often.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. An incomplete pass on 2nd down leads us to 3rd and inches. Passing, it's Dalton. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a first down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there that brings up 4th. And this passing game's whole offense really didn't show up in the loss last week, and it hasn't started all that great here either.
Yeah, and they can't let that incompletion become an uh-oh.
Dalton, 1st and 10. His throw incomplete.
So it looked like maybe his 3rd or his 4th read on his progression. Just trying to find his outlet man that time. Ends up leading him just a bit too much.
2nd and 10 now from the 27. Passing again. Dalton on 2nd and 10. Caught Eifert over the middle. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
We always talk about receivers. If the ball hits your hand, you're supposed to haul it in, but it is hard to adjust to a pass thrown a little bit behind you.
That one was all the momentum going forward. Couldn't contort his body back to grab it. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw again. Dalton. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back. Complete. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. It's a 9-yard pickup on the play, and that'll make it 3rd and 1. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches.
Well, he hasn't made much of an impact in the running game thus far, and after that last run, not much is going to change in that area.
He hasn't been able to get anything going, and really the offensive line not helping him much. Cincinnati now ready to take the field. So far, they've had 3 drives, 3 punts. Not good.
Not good indeed, because you've got to have something to show for being out on the field. Now, sometimes, if you have
blitz coming, and down he goes.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away, because I'm going to use your aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll get across the 20, but only to about the 22-yard line. Bringing him to the ground defensively, Tedrick Thompson.
And that's one of the reasons you like to blitz even on rundowns. It confuses the blocking assignments. It doesn't allow those offensive linemen to get up to the 2nd level.
Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This is 3rd down and 12. Throwing, Dalton. And Eifert has it. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down. Dalton to his big target, Eifert, for the Cincinnati 1st.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. They'll give him 8 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down. Remain in a scoreless first half. Back to CenturyLink Field after this. Coming up at the half, a reminder we go back to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman. He'll have a look back at our first half as well as a look ahead to what's coming up later this weekend. It's 2nd down. Dalton looking. Over the middle, complete. It's Waters. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. From midfield here, Dalton. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. You got a young quarterback. Maybe that's just an example of a growing pain for him.
I think you're right about that, because when the game starts to move fast and it moves quickly on him, a lot of times they fall back on what they know best, their arm. He's slinging it on this one. Had a wide open target, but didn't have the proper footwork to increase his accuracy. Partner, they're less than 2 minutes ago in the game, which means that this challenge was initiated by the fellas in New York.
And if you're the coach, you're thinking, thank you, New York. Looking left sideline, incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 as they line up, 2nd and 10. Another look for Dalton on 2nd and 10. That is incomplete.
You've always been very good about checking my math. Am I correct? That's the first time that it's been incomplete when they've thrown it to him?
Yes, he had caught every other ball coming his way.
So they feel like they've got something really good going there, and they're going to continue to go there until the defense makes an adjustment and takes it away.
Well, they finally made an adjustment there. We'll see if they can build on that stop. 3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. The Bengals getting set to go. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned they're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
Andy Dalton now 9 of 17 through the air. Not a great percentage, but it is 1st and 10. Dalton here from the gun. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. The final act of the first half. Dalton, he's going to loft one deep left side here. And this is taken in at the 5. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. So we are at halftime here in downtown Seattle with the Seahawks out in front. As we send you cross-country to Orlando, Jonathan Coachman is there and has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Brandon, 2 weeks to go in the NFL season. A lot of races coming down to the wire. Before we get it back to you guys, let's check out what we have coming up this weekend on the Week 16 NFL slate. Some good games to look forward to in the early window, especially the one in Baltimore. A big one coming up for the Ravens as they'll do battle with the Los Angeles Rams. Then in the 4 Eastern window, it'll be a later than usual start in Cleveland, where it'll be the Browns taking on the Buffalo Bills. And lastly, we'll wrap up the week with Monday Night Football. Definitely one to tune in for, as it'll be the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Jacksonville Jaguars. Meanwhile, in our game, not a lot of offense to go around. 7-3 is our score. Will we see things open up in the second half? To find out, we get it back to our guys in the booth, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First and 10 for Dalton. He's going to air it out deep for Green. That's caught inside the 20. And he is down deep into Seattle territory. A big play. Dalton to his favorite receiver, Green. 59 yards. Line of scrimmage moves from their own 25 all the way to the red zone now for first and 10. Dalton operating in the red zone now. His throw caught right around the 6. And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the third quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
Dalton now to pass. And he is going to go down. Back at the 11-yard line. K.J. Wright in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Moved back to the 10. They'll try on 2nd and goal here. They'll give it to him up the middle. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the third quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Nazir Jones in there to drop him for his 5th sack of the year. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down, you bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
A first down throw coming for Dalton. Green's got it over the middle. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, he often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. 7 yards there, good enough to move the sticks. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. Throwing on 1st down. Dalton. And that would not to be. It's incomplete. So they couldn't hook up as time has now run out on this third quarter of play. 1 quarter remains here in this Thursday night matchup. We'll return with more after this. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now in Seattle, Washington. It's the Bengals. They've got the football, but they trail here as we get rolling in quarter number 4. Line of scrimmage, again, the 37 as they line up 2nd and 10. 2nd and 10. Dalton once more. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They'll get 14 on that one. Good for a Bengal first down. Andy Dalton now 5 straight completions here in this second half. 1st and 10. Play action now. Dalton under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Nazir Jones in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle.
On the ball! On the ball!
From the gun, Dalton looks to throw, and his throw here is incomplete.
Got to give credit to both defenses because they've been able to keep the points down. And despite that incompletion, I like the way he's playing. He's putting up decent numbers. What he has to do, find a way to make that sound read and hit that one home run before this one's over.
Now, the Bengals on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 17. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down. One score down. Here we go. They're going to go for it here on 4th down. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They felt compelled to go for it, and they got it.
Well, I'd look down at my play sheet, and what I would find, plays have been successful throughout the game that have worked at the distance you need, and that's exactly what they got done.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10.
Go, on the ball! On the ball!
On 1st down, Dalton. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete. The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free. But pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. But he's having a big game through the air, and sometimes those smart decisions just dump it off. That's how you continue to have big games through the air.
I agree totally. That's a great analogy, a great way to put it, because he doesn't get too greedy where everything has to be pushed downfield, trying to create big plays that aren't there. You dump it off and take that nice gain, and things add up, and now you have the kind of game he's having.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be caught, but they'll say out of bounds. So it's incomplete.
I don't know about you, but I wanted to reach out of the booth and snatch that pass myself. That thing floated forever up there. I think that threw off the timing of the receiver. That's why he couldn't get his feet down even though he caught the ball.
You know, Charles, I would have liked to have seen that.
Yeah, me too.
For you, I wanted to see you reach out and catch that.
Yeah, you've heard about my hands, huh?
And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. It's a good gain of 11, sets him up 1st and goal.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
Here's Dalton. Under heavy pressure, and down goes Dalton on the sack. K.J. Wright in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year. And before this 2nd down play, we'll get a whistle, a signal, and a timeout. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. And we're back. The offense had a chance to talk things over, and we'll see what they come up with here on this next play. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. Here's Dalton. And it's caught. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. Tyler Eifert, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Bengals have taken the lead here in the 4th.
I wonder if he changed anything on his play sheet or they just executed better. Because they had 2 previous drives that ended in field goals.
And on the ground they go with the running back. And he finds enough of an opening to get this one back up to his 20. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense as they get it with under a minute to go now in the football game. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll work his way forward up to the 22. Now the Seahawks call the 2nd of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds left to go in the game. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. Here it's 3rd and 3.
Go on the ball.
So now Dalton. And he couldn't hang on to it through the contact. Incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. You're wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for Cincinnati, it's a big win here as they move to 11-4 now in the year. And now they'll have a few extra days before they face the Rams next week. Meanwhile, for the Seahawks, they'll be guaranteed a finish of no better than 500 as they drop to 7-8. And they'll try to rebound next week as they head to Glendale to take on the Cardinals. So for Charles Davis and our entire crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Next game, guess what? Charles and I will be here again. It's the NFL on EA Sports.
Bring your lunch pails, fellas. I need to see that workman attitude today. We got to get better today. What I want to know is, who's ready to get better? I'm ready to work today. You ready to work? You ready to work? All right, then let's see it. Let's get out there and do it.
Wake up! Lady! Green 18! Wake up! Lady! Lady! Hands up! Lady! Green 18! Wake up! Lady! Green 18! Wake up! Wake up! Lady! Lady! Wake up!
Listen up, fellas. I think we all know what today was. Today simply wasn't good enough. We have high aspirations as a team. If we want to get there, we got to raise our game. Today was not good enough. Next practice, I want it better.
It's Gurley power. It's the coach. This is Madden 19 on EA Sports. Coming up, running back Todd Gurley, fresh off a standout performance a week ago, as it'll be the Cincinnati Bengals taking on the Los Angeles Rams. I'll be back with you again with scores around the league at halftime. But kickoff right around the corner. And standing by to call the action, here are Brandon Gaudin and Charles Davis.
Coach, thank you much. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the city of Angels, Los Angeles, California. A few short moments ago, running back Todd Gurley trying to fire up the Ram faithful here in Southern California as his guys get set to do battle with Andy Dalton and the Cincinnati Bengals. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, you look at this Rams team as they interplay. They've been in a great group. Winners of 7 of their last 10 on the year.
And going back through the tape, I thought they looked pretty good last week. It was a solid win, a comprehensive win.
Meanwhile, for the Bengals here, they come in on a good run, winners of 5 of their last 7.
And last weekend, they pulled one out in a very low-scoring affair. It was all about their defense.
They go play action here on first down. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. He got 29 yards that time. Nice completion there for Andy Dalton. And Charles, you worked some of his games when he was at TCU. Now you've worked his games in the NFL. What progression have you seen?
I've seen a guy who took over as a freshman in college and got better and better each year. Always added a little bit more to his game, gets stronger. But the best part about him is he's always been accurate.
So from Rams territory now, it's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And the throw left sideline here is caught, but they'll rule it incomplete. Couldn't keep his feet in. 2nd down. So a look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. And they tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free agents well, and stocked your team just the way you're supposed to.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll set up a 3rd down. To throw here, Dalton. Now they go screen. It's complete. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
I like the screen being called here early in the game, especially on the opening drive, because, Brandon, when guys come out of the locker room, especially those pass rushers, they are so amped up to get to the quarterback that you can use that against them, and a screen pass is a great way of doing it. A lot of teams against good pass rushing teams, they want to run the screen 10 to 12 times in a game.
A first chance in the red zone for the Bengals now. This is 1st and goal from about the 8. So Dalton now. Looking right sideline, but it's incomplete. His big tight end, Tyler Eifert, the intended receiver. That'll bring up 2nd down.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal. Operating from the gun. Dalton, incomplete.
Well, we've seen him catch a few passes out of the backfield in the first half, unable to connect on that one.
Certainly seems like getting him the ball out of the passing game, though, is part of their game plan.
It certainly is because he catches it well, creates a mismatch. You're going to cover him with a linebacker, a corner, a safety. They feel like he can win every battle.
The Ram fans in this old stadium on their feet. 3rd and goal. Dalton. And he's got his big tight end, Eifert, and it's a Bengal touchdown. Tyler Eifert, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Bengals are going to take a first-quarter lead. A post to the tight end for 6. Gosh, those guys are so tough to cover, aren't they? Just in general, tight ends running those patterns near the goal line.
Because you have to decide how you...
And they'll run it here. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4. And he's got room.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
Second down, Dalton. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And he'll get it down on the play to the 37. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a first down.
That was a route run not just with dexterity, but with intelligence. Found the hole in the zone, made sure the quarterback saw him, and was able to make the sure catch and flip the down marker back to 1.
And they'll go ground game here with the tailback. And they're able to get this one past the 30 down to the 25. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati first down.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he'll get it down inside the 20 to the 18-yard line. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
Now, prior to the snap, we hit all zeros as time has run out on the first quarter of play. 7-0 is our score. EA Sports NFL Sunday returns following this.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. They're looking at a 2nd and short yardage to start things out.
Go on the ball. On the ball.
And they'll go on the ground. And he'll take this one down near the 15. On the stop was Aaron Donald. Pretty good job defensively. Thought he was going to get it, but they knew where that marker was, and they stopped him just short of it.
What it does is emphasize that strategic football and situational football is not just played on the offensive side, is it? Defense understanding, as you noted, where the first down marker was and making sure they didn't get there.
Andy Dalton. Got a man. It's Ross, complete. And he is out of bounds, getting it down to the 10. The gain of 5 that time gives him the conversion and makes it 1st and goal.
A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Play action here with Dalton. In trouble, and he'll go down back at the 12. Frank Clark able to get in there and take him down for a loss of 3.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
They'll try again on 2nd and goal after going backwards to the 12. Now Dalton. And incomplete. He tried to leave it underneath, nearly got picked. They may be lucky to have that one back. 3rd down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It's way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
The Ram fans in this old stadium on their feet. 3rd and goal. Throwing, Dalton. This will be caught just inside the 10. And he takes it inside the 10 to the 8 before he's out of bounds. A 4-yard pickup, not enough. 4th down.
And there's another completion to the tight end. And let's face it, it is hard to overthrow a 6'6" target.
It is indeed. Quarterbacks like their speed guys. They like that huge 6'6" target that they've got in him.
They really do. And it reminds me of what one great tight end told me once. He told his quarterback, just make
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. And they had 3 points last time, but they didn't want 3 points because they were well within range of scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do better now.
I'm with you on that one. Let's just go ahead and be frank about the whole thing. The only one happy about the 3-point?
The kicker.
Exactly. He put it through the post. That's going to help him at contract time. But that offense, they're thinking, let's get in the end zone this time.
I don't know if that helped him at contract time. You could have kicked that one through.
I don't know about that.
Toe bash.
I don't know about that.
Toe bashed it.
Super toe.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 12 yards that time and a Cincinnati 1st down.
There's no secret to beating a 3-4 when you're trying to run the ball up the middle. You have to control the guy over the nose of the center. And oftentimes, he's awfully hard to move. That's why he's there. A big guy, usually north of 300 pounds, with some agility. But somehow, you got to figure out how to move him. And most teams will double the nose. Center and a guard trying to move him to one side or the other. And when they're able to do that successfully, as just happened here, that's when you get big-time running plays.
And he's going to take this one across midfield and into Ram territory. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
Go, on the ball! On the ball!
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line.
Yeah, once more, strong running, excellent blocking at the point of attack. They've got a nice little drive brewing right here.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he's able to carve out about 6 there, down to the 37. 2 minutes to play here in the 1st half. We're back to the City of Angels after this timeout. And we remind you, coming up at the half, we'll join who, Charles?
The coach.
The coach, Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have stats and scores from games in progress, as well as scores from earlier today.
The coach.
Sorry, we get slap happy up here sometimes. And now to the air. Dalton caught Eifert over the middle. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. 23 yards on the play.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. Give him 2 yards on that play, and that'll make this a 2nd down.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
So 2nd and 8 here after the pass play for 2 yards on 1st down. Dalton here from the gun. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I know our vantage point might be a little bit better way up here, but that looked like an ill-advised throw to me. I didn't see anything open, and this play just didn't look right from the beginning.
It did not. I thought he might get outside and just chuck it away. Dangerous pass, incomplete. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 8. And again, Andy Dalton to throw. And almost intercepted. Would have been a huge pick in the end zone, but as it stands, that brings up 4th.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you get...
And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've come upon halftime here in Week 17. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
All right, Brandon, thank you as always. Welcome into our final regular season edition of our halftime report. Playoff lives hanging in the balance as we take you around the NFL one final time. We'll start up at Gillette Stadium in Foxborough, where it was the visiting Browns who were able to steal one on the road. Nick Chubb, a touchdown run in the victory. From there, we head all the way out west to see what's happening with the LA Chargers. And they have the lead in that one over the visiting Buffalo Bills. Melvin Gordon has a touchdown there. Finally, let's get you to Baltimore. Check on the Ravens at home at M&T Bank Stadium. And they were losers in that one to the visiting Pittsburgh Steelers. Ben Roethlisberger, 2 touchdown passes as his guys remain unbeaten. In the game you're watching, it's been the Red Rifle, Andy Dalton, who's led the way. His guys lead, though by only a field goal. Still anybody's game, as we send it back to Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
Dalton, 1st and 10. He finds Ross, right side, it's complete. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get up near the 45. They'll spot it at the 44. They get 9 out of that one, and as a result, the drive continues.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense, because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. First and 10 for Dalton. Throw right side complete to Carter. Give him 17 at a Cincinnati first down.
And the big guy catches the ball out of the backfield, and oftentimes that's quite a surprise to the guys playing defense, because not ordinarily thought as a pass catcher, it often works when they decide to dial it up.
Andy Dalton now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a first and 10. From the gun, Dalton over the middle. That's caught by Ross. And he'll go down here at the 35-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
Dalton throwing on second down. Gonna throw right side here, complete. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. Dalton going to break the huddle, come up first and 10. And he's 4 for 4 now, throwing the ball to start the drive. Dalton operating in the red zone now. He's going to find his running back. It's complete. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be second and about a yard to go for the first.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. And it'll be Dalton again. This will be caught at about the 6. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. They'll come out in the pistol. This will be Dalton again. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this third quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball down.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
Well, Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bringing up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means it might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word. Put it in bold. Here we go. And Dalton to throw. And that is incomplete.
Well, they're slinging it, and then there's one you got to put a timer on, huh? I mean, that one came in hot.
That came in hot, but overthrown out of his reach and incomplete. And on the ground they go with the running back. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. Micah Kaiser was in on the tackle. And where do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Throw left side, complete to Ross. And he'll get this one way up just shy of the 45-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. And they'll run it here. And he'll be corralled out across midfield down to the 45. 11 more on that one and another 1st down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up 2nd down.
It is tough to complete passes against zone defenses. The windows that you see open, they shrink pretty rapidly. How about being able to hit a moving target against the zone before the next guy can get there and make a play on the ball?
Not easy for any quarterback, no matter the situation. And there, the defense won the battle. 2nd and 10. Dalton once more. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this 2nd half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked, huh?
Play action now, Dalton. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Waters. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop him. A gain of 32 that time. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got a 1st and 10 as they look to try and finish this one off. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. This will be caught at about the 6. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. So fresh out of the 2-minute warning, and here's another timeout taken with 1:55 remaining. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. It's 1st and goal, and a late touchdown at this stage could officially salt this one away. They come up in an offset eye. Oh, passing it. Dalton. Incomplete.
Now, he's been a busy man out of the backfield. They've looked his way quite a bit so far in this game.
Nice job there defensively, though, adjusting, because a couple of his earlier catches, he was wide open. Not that time.
You mentioned the key word, adjustment. A better cover man on him now in space.
Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's 2nd and 1. Dalton wants to throw. And this is caught. And that could seal it. It's a touchdown.
Well, it'd be real easy to say that they are firmly in control right now, but I'm looking at your face and I'm thinking I've got to be careful with that.
Well, it's a 2-score game. You're inside at 2 minutes. I think you can breathe relatively easily now.
Yeah, you can, but still, you got to stay vigilant. Can't give up anything cheap and easy.
Down to a knee here. The defense still with a couple of timeouts. We'll see if they want to use them. And the Rams are going to go ahead and take another timeout as they get it right at the 32nd mark of this 4th quarter. The Bengals go down to a knee in the victory formation. The Rams going to be forced to use their 3rd and final timeout as the clock will stop with just under 30 seconds left to go. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long.
Go on the ball. On the ball.
They will take the knee here, and they will finish this regular season with a victory.
Yeah, it's fun to kneel down in front of your home crowd, but when you go on the road, that band of brothers attitude, right? Just us against the world.
Well, going into the final play of this game, they knew that they needed some type of a miracle there at the very end, but they couldn't get it done. However, we were treated to really a spectacular affair.
Even though they didn't finish it off, you're exactly right. They took us down to the last play. We're still, you were wondering, could it happen? Possibly, even though we both knew it was a long shot.
So for the Bengals, a final win means they will finish off the regular season at a very strong 12-4. And now they'll await the final seeding for the playoffs ahead. Meanwhile, for L.A., this was basically just an exhibition game for them as they'd already clinched home field advantage. And the playoffs will run through their house as they'll get the week off and get set to host a divisional round game in 2 weeks' time. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.
Bring your lunch pails, fellas. I need to see that workman attitude today. We got to get better today. What I want to know is, who's ready to get better? I'm ready to work today. You ready to work? You ready to work? All right, then let's see it. Let's get out there and do it.
Wait! Grenade team! Stop! Lights up! Lead! Lights up! Lights up! Lead! Lead! Lead!
Fellas, we've got to have a great practice today. There's no other option. We've got 17 weeks, we strap it up, and we get better each week. This is one of those times you got to take advantage of it, all right? So let's get at it.
Lady! Lady! Legs up! Lady! 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 Legs up! Lady! Unity! Lady! 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 Lady!
Hey, man, that was great. I mean, you had a great day today. You're taking the first steps towards success in this league. But don't fall back and get lazy. There's more steps ahead, so you got to keep it up.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of the divisional round playoffs on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the Miami Dolphins and the Cincinnati Bengals. With that, let's get up to Paul Brown Stadium in Cincinnati. For the call, we bring in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
From the banks of the Ohio River, there's a look at Paul Brown Stadium here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Coming up, it's Divisional Round Saturday. We've got an AFC battle on tap between the Miami Dolphins and the Cincinnati Bengals. A first down throw coming for Dalton. Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. First down yardage on the first play of the drive. Give him 14. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Go on the ball. On the ball.
On 1st and 10, Dalton. This one grabbed by A.J. Green. And he'll be taken down at the 46-yard line. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
Able to get 7 on that first down pass play. 2nd and 3. Passing, it's Dalton. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Ross. His first reception of the divisional round matchup, but it's good for a first down as well.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Go on the ball. On the ball.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's across midfield and into Miami territory. In on the stop defensively, Raekwon McMillan.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Second down, Dalton throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. He was looking for his favorite target, A.J. Green, that time. 3rd down here.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily fell incomplete. And he comes back with one complete. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
I don't believe that this opening drive is surprising to either one of us after the time we spent with the coaching staff and players prior to the game. What about you?
Absolutely. Not only that, but that big article in the paper this morning about their philosophy on starting games like you're shot out of a cannon, and that's what they've done. Very methodical here on this first drive.
Yeah, so many teams talk about that fast start. We're actually seeing it happen right here in front of us.
But now the kicker. Can they cap it off by putting the ball in the end zone? To throw here, Dalton. Almost able to intercept it. That's one he would have liked to have held on to on this first drive. Instead, 2nd down.
Used to have a coach just tell us all the time, those scouting reports aren't just to use up paper, guys. Well, nowadays, you know, we're watching a computer screen, right? They scouted this team very well. Know that they like to use the running backs in the passing game. They covered that play successfully.
Passing again. Dalton on 2nd and 10. And this is caught at the 8. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. 23 yards on the play.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, 2nd catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, that should open up his running game, too. And perhaps now close to the first points of this divisional round game. as it's 1st and goal. Another chance for Dalton. And he's got his big tight end, Eifert, and it's a Bengal touchdown. Tyler Eifert from 6 yards away. And the Bengals take it right down and score on the opening drive. Looking sharp on that first drive. These guys, of course, coming off back-to-back victories, and you see that kind of advancing into this game, don't you?
You certainly do, and when you have a team that doesn't get too full of itself, even though they've won 2 games in a row, you get the end result that we saw there, that nice opening drive, because they're...
Throwing on 1st down. Dalton, throw left side, complete. It's Ross. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. 1st down.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
It's 2nd down. Dalton looking toward the left sideline, but it's incomplete.
All right, that one fell incomplete there, but the best quarterbacks, they'll miss on 40% of their throws, somewhere in that neighborhood, similar to a great hitter in baseball who's going to fail 7 out of 10 times and still have a great year. In this case, you want perfection, but way better that it hits the ground instead of going to an opposite color jersey.
3rd down, a shot here for Dalton. And Eifert has it. And he gets this one to midfield before he's brought down. He had the touchdown on the opening drive. Now he's got a 1st down.
Someone sharp in this game. I mean, a touchdown pass on the first drive. It comes right back, and he's flinging it around really well here.
Really nice throw there to pick up the 1st down. You kind of just feel a laser focus and confidence about him, and I think we saw that this week, didn't we? Talking to him and the coaches, they felt good about his performance coming up.
Yeah, I was really impressed with that last practice we saw when they went through 2-minute drill, when they went through all the different situations. Ball hardly hit the ground, and I thought, yeah, he might be locked in for this one.
The NFL on EA Sports is presented by Snickers. You're not you and you're hungry. Snickers satisfies.
Alongside Charles Davis, Brandon Gaudin, and it's the Bengals with a football to begin quarter number 2. And they're on the move here. They've got it 1st and 10. From midfield here, Dalton got a man open. It's Ross. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at the 40. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down.
Good throw, good catch, but I really like the route. The drag and being able to run away from defenders, hard to stick with them for that long.
Yeah, better against man than zone, or?
Better against man, because now you're running away from someone, and you're not running into a defensive player in another zone.
Dalton, bootlegs out. It's brought in complete. It's John Brown. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 23 yards on the play.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he's going to go down. He's sacked back at the 24. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation. They're almost conceding the 3 points. They want to push you back and try and take you out of that.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. Morris Claiborne makes the play defensively.
Well, they certainly had success throwing the ball on this drive, and not as much running it as we just saw once again on that last play. Stopped after a very short gain. But I wouldn't abandon the run totally, because otherwise, pass rushers just tee off on your quarterback. Makes it very, very difficult for him in that situation.
Third and long. What will Dalton dial up? And that's complete. It's Green here. And he's able to work it here to the 8-yard line. They do get 12, but they'll be marked short. And that leads to a fourth down.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game, because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
The Bengal offense now gets set to head back out onto the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
From the 34 now, here's first and 10. 2 minutes to go here in the first half. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout. We remind you, as we've done all year, that coming up at halftime, we will visit with Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll let you know what's going on here on a very eventful divisional round weekend. Dalton, first and 10. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Ross. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And the catch good. It's Eifert. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. 8 yards on the pickup there, and it moves the sticks. 5th catch of the game for him there.
Yeah, and the tight end position is now becoming a volume pass catcher. It used to be occasional, right? Safety valve. Throw one to him every so often, but mainly they want him out there to block. Nowadays, an integral part of the passing game, and they create such great mismatches that they often become the leading receiver.
Got his man. It's Eifert. Room to run inside the 40. And all the way down to the 33-yard line. A good pickup there of 20 yards.
It's so important to tackle well against these guys, but you and I both know that's easier said than done. When the guy you're trying to tackle looks like this guy.
It's usually going to take more than one man to get him down, and it did right there. Andy Dalton now closing in on a 200-yard first half through the air. It's first and 10. He finds Ross, right side, it's complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. In for the score. And the Bengals add on to their lead.
I heard a coach talk about on those late-in-the-half scores, especially ones that give your team a pretty decent cushion. He said those could be the ones that can finish off a squad if you let them.
Yeah, they've got the cushion. This half has been theirs. First and 10 for Dalton. Toward the right sideline, but it's incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, third quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot, but they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
Another look for Dalton on 2nd and 10. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10. They go play action here on 1st down. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete.
And it is true. You can draft the fastest. You can draft the most athletic guys. But if they don't know the art of positioning, sometimes it's all for naught. In this case, in the right spot, help force the incompletion.
Yeah, had his hands on it for a second. Would have been a tough catch, though. Falls incomplete. So 2nd down, still 10 yards to go. Ball on the 43. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
Go on the ball.
To throw on 3rd down. Dalton. Got a man, it's Ross, complete. And they're able to get this one past the 30 to the 25-yard line. The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first. Now Dalton with a 1st and 10. Over the middle, that's caught by Ross. And he showed off the athletic juke. Good little gain there. Not a whole lot of real estate, but a nice carry. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Dalton sets up play action. And he's got it. And he will take it on in for a Bengals touchdown. Andy Dalton with his 3rd touchdown pass of the game. And the Bengals are able to grow their lead. And right now, Charles, I think you'd have to say their class starting to show through.
Yeah, they were disappointed not to get the #1 seed in the playoffs, but the reality is these guys can play anywhere. It doesn't matter for them.
And if they can indeed hold on to this lead, that's going to set up one heck of a championship game next Sunday.
Let's come back and watch it, shall we?
Something tells me you and I are going to be there. Play fake. Here's Dalton. And a scary incompletion, almost picked off. It would have been their first INT of the game. Instead, second down.
I think it's pretty safe to say that when you're up 3 touchdowns, the last thing you want to do is hang one up there and put it in jeopardy and possibly get it intercepted. Got a nice lead. You should be able to protect it. But if you get careless with the football, look out.
Second and 10. Dalton once more. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. A big play there on the catch and run. 45 yards.
So what's the old expression that quarterbacks like to use when they decide to throw the football? I'm looking for either a touchdown or a check down. And he took the check down on that play, and it worked almost to perfection.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Play action now. Dalton. And he's got his favorite target yet again. It's complete. And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. A very solid gain of 27.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? And it sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. On 1st and 10, here's Andy Dalton. That's going to be caught at the 10-yard line. A gain of 7 that time. 2nd goal.
Now, that's often a surprise for the defensive guys when they see the big fella slide out of the backfield and catch the ball. Not something they usually go over in practice very often.
1 quarter remains for the right to advance to the AFC title game. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Cincinnati. A lot of happy faces in the crowd at this point as their guys have a big lead here to start quarter number 4. So the ball position now at the 3. Here's 2nd and goal. And again, Andy Dalton to throw. And this is caught. For the moment, it's a touchdown, but multiple flags down, so let's sort this out.
Pass interference. Defense.
And yes, they want the point, so they will decline the penalty, no question there.
You don't think they spent a couple seconds mulling over what the penalty would do for them?
I don't even know why they asked the sideline.
Not at all.
So now the Bengal offensive unit back out onto the field. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
The Bengals passing game finding a rhythm. They've got another first.
Not only have they completed a couple on this drive, but they peeled off some pretty good chunks of yardage, too. Absolutely. Great start. 2 nice plays in the pass game. Now can they continue to feed off that? A first down throw coming for Dalton. Sheds off the tackle. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Mason Schreck, 39 yards. And the Bengals just continue to pour it on. Zimmerman, another touchdown. They're looking like the #1 seed that they earned throughout the year. Looking pretty dominant right now. We knew the road to the Super Bowl would run right through this stadium. Somebody's going to have to come in here and beat these guys. Good luck. I don't think it's happening this weekend. No, definitely not this weekend. Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? This will be caught at about the 5. It's a good gain of 11. Sets him up first and goal. And looking to put this game on ice in the 4th quarter, but still not afraid to throw it as they show there. You want to play the game with confidence, and they have a guy who's in control right now. Their trigger guy, throwing it, they feel just as confident with him doing that as they would if they tried to run the ball and run the clock out.
Go on the ball. On the ball.
Off the bootleg. Dalton. That's caught at the 2. And he'll take this into the end zone for a Bengal TD. As his guys are in for 6. And the Bengals use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it? It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract. On first down, Dalton over the middle, complete. It's Ross. And he'll go down just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one. I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to it? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection. And they'll go on the ground. And he'll get this one up to the 26. On the stop, Stephon Anthony with a tackle. Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they want to put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home. Now the Bengals on 3rd down. They've been good, 3 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 4. From the gun, Dalton looks to throw. Complete to the right side. It's Eifert. And he's able to get it to the 31, and that's enough for the first. That'll put him over 150 yards receiving now. Quite a ball game and a first down. Not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Time for a break. This one, all over but the shouting. We'll finish it after this. So the Bengals in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And they have just about put this one on ice as they've got it here, 1st and 10. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, Dalton to the left side here for Eifert. And he'll get it out near the 40 to the 39. A good pickup there, 8 yards on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understanding just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on 1st down for them. Brings up a nice 2nd down.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Charles Harris in there to drop him, and it'll be a loss of about 8. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result?
Sack.
Quarterback gets hit.
So the sack, and now it's 3rd and long for Dalton and the Bengals. Now they'll run it on the toss. And he'll be limited to a short gain up to about the 34-yard line. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
Cincinnati now ready to take the field. They have the dream scenario you hope for coming into the game. Just one kneel here, and this game should be over.
And it's always the final play of preparation each week. The practicing of the kneel-down formation, the victory formation. We've got a game in hand, and that's all they're going to want to do now. They'll put someone back deep just in case something goes haywire. But all in all, take the snap, kneel down, and shake hands. Yes, get out of there.
Not running. Dalton wants to throw. Got his man complete over the middle. That's Ross. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. The storyline in this one, Charles, no doubt the number 0. Zilch, nada. A shutout so hard to do in the NFL.
It really is, and what an accomplishment, because you feel that not just on the defensive side, but as a full team. There's a lot of pride that goes into shutting out an opponent. And how about that 0 on the scoreboard for them, going along with those zeros in the time column, too.
So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. It's a win for the Bengals as we say so long from Cincinnati.
you